What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I want to go over a little bit of a different video today. I want to break down my top 5 favorite pull 3 cards for deck building or versatility purposes. So these are 5 cards that I find are most valuable if you like to build your own decks and be able to put these cards in multiple different decks. Up first is Daredevil. So there's obvious good synergy with Daredevil, with Gamora and Professor X and other big 5-drops like that you can predict the exact location of your opponent's cards and then counter it very well with your own very powerful cards like Gamora and Professor X. But beyond that, Daredevil can really fit into any deck. There's no synergy that you have to meet with Daredevil. You can just kind of throw him wherever you want and have the added bonus of knowing your opponent's play on turn 5. Regardless if you utilize that perfectly with, saying, getting Professor X lockdown or a Gamora plus 5 power, you will still be able to predict where they're going and then be able to shift your attention to the other locations that need it on that turn. Daredevil is a card that belongs in so many decks, and you can really throw him wherever you want, so he is one of the most versatile pull 3 cards. Up next for me is Brood, a 3-cost 2 power. On reveal, add 2 Broodlings to this location with the same power, and essentially you get 3 3-drops with 2 power. This versatility is pretty absurd. So if you're just playing a flood deck, right, the very baseline of a deck, just playing a deck that wants to flood the board, play Blue Marvel, in the early game, you just want to kind of hit the board crazy, fill up the board a lot, and buff the board playing Captain America, Blue Marvel, etc. Brood fits in great. If you want to play a Silver Surfer deck, if you have Silver Surfer and you want to buff your 3-drops, well, Brood is the best card in the game for Silver Surfer. Having 3 3-drops from one card is absurd value and can give you a dominant location just with that. Or if you want to play a Patriot deck, which is utilizing cards that have no abilities, well, the 2 Broodlings that Brood summons have no abilities. So that's 3 decks already that Brood fits into just right off the bat, off the top of my head. Brood has some insane flexibility, has some absolutely powerful must-have decks that he has to be in, like Silver Surfer, and in my opinion, Patriot decks. So I think Brood 100% deserves a spot on this list of most versatile cards. Up next has to be everyone's favorite wizard. I got to go with Wong. He's a 4-cost, 2-power ongoing. Your on-reveal abilities at this location happen twice. You've seen plenty of this on my channel if you're familiar. I love Wong. There's some absolutely hilarious things you can do with Wong, whether it's just going all in on the on-reveal type archetype, being with White Tiger and Odin, or if you want to do an all-ongoing deck and then play Spectrum after, or if you just want to have the occasional fun meme of being able to play Gambit on top of Wong so you can blow up 2 things. The list really doesn't end. You can play Jubilee on top of Wong. There's just so many on-reveal cards in this game to not have Wong as one of the most versatile pull 3 cards. There are so many different decks that can utilize Wong's ability either for fun or for very serious output, and I think he just absolutely might even be the number 1. I'm not ordering these 1 to 5, but if I was, I'd have to consider putting Wong all the way at the top. He has so much flexibility with other pull 3 cards, but also just with even pull 2 and pull 1 cards. He's just an incredible asset to the game, and he's one of the most fun cards there is in Marvel Snap to date. Up next, I have to put Sarah in this conversation. She is a 5-cost 4-power ongoing. Cards in your hand cost 1 less to a minimum of 1. She has some absolutely really strong decks, especially with things like Limbo to give you an extra turn to utilize this ability. So Magic creating Limbo, which gives you the extra ability to go to turn 7. That way you get 2 different turns after you play Sarah on 5 to discount your hand. But she also has a really good synergy with Silver Surfer, being able to play so many different 3-drops on turn 6. You can play up to 3 at that point. She has a lot of synergy with Zabu, making your 4-cost cost only 1 energy, which is hilarious. She has just, beyond that, she's just a value piece in any deck. You can really put her in any of your decks as you're getting into pull 3 that you can just utilize a ton of value for this card, and you'll get so many things getting played cheaper. Really, the only thing she doesn't do well is reduce the cost of 1-drops. So you don't want to play her in like a Kazoo deck, but outside of that, Sarah could fit almost anywhere. Crazy versatility. If this pops up in your token shop and you're curious if she's worth it, she is. Buy her. And last up on my list of the top 5 most versatile slash best deck building cards there are in pull 3 has to be Wave. Wave is an absolute blast of a card. She's a 3-power, 3-cost on reveal next turn. Cards in both players' hands cost 4. So if you have some giant units that you want to be able to play on turn 4, Wave is your person. If you're lucky enough to have She-Hulk, Wave is an incredible asset with She-Hulk, being able to play She-Hulk and another card on turn 6 if you play just Wave on turn 5. Or if you have Death yourself, then you can have Wave reduce Death's cost to 4, and as long as you have killed 4 things that game, Death will be costing 0 for that turn, and you can play another card on top of that. That is just a couple of the scenarios that Wave works in super well. She is an incredible asset. I find so many players not having her yet, and making decks and really wishing they had her. Same with Sarah. Same with honestly most of these cards. So Wave is one that has to make this list. I think she's just an absolutely incredible value piece. So that is the 5 cards in Pool 3 that I think are the most versatile. If you are wondering what you should be spending your collection tokens on, and you're not looking for just a specific card, but looking for good valued cards, I would highly suggest any of these 5 from Pool 3, because you'll be able to play multiple decks with each of these cards. I guarantee that. They are not limited to just one archetype or one deck. I think all of these cards that I've shown today have a lot of versatility through various decks. If you're a good deck builder, you like building decks like me, pick up some of these cards and get on your way to making your own decks in Marvel Snap. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and always keep on snapping.